We are back with a very exciting guest.
We have our knight in shining armor over here.
We do have I like Damon Knights. Isn't that a good, our knight in shining armor? That's pretty clever. I don't know if I think he heard that a million times. He was not impressed.
I'll take it. Absolutely.
I don't think he was impressed at all. He just looked at us. Well, there's an opening. Should we just end it there or should we continue? It's Knights.
You guys tell me.
Damon Knights, Vice President, Sales and Distribution at EQ of Personal Banking. So welcome.
Thanks for having me. This is like, I've been watching your interviews and wondering when I would get the call. So I'm really happy that it's happening. Thank you.
That is not because of you. That's an us problem. We need to be ready for this.
All right.
Because you have a whole marketing team behind you. I don't know. Like I kind of feel like we're not at the operational level we need to. But you said to me today, we have a beautiful studio. We have great equipment, so we're good. You feel like we're good.
I'm a believer, Paul.
That's all that matters.
I'm a believer.
Sound like Ted Lasso. So thank you for coming, making the way down here. And we'll start with some fun. So I think one of the first things I found out about you is that you played football.
American football. Yeah, I got to make that distinction because I played American football in Italy for 2 years. Wow. And so that's a very different and unique experience. Don't want to date myself, but like 20 some odd years ago, they had American Football League, which was owned by, wealthy Italians who went to school. Let's say they went to school in the United States and they played football. They fell in love with it. Came back to Italy, set up a league. So
how many teams were in the league?
12, 13 teams across Italy. So we got to tour Italy.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
It was like big cities mainly, right?
Absolutely.
I'm assuming like Milan, Rome.
Absolutely. So I played for the Genoa Squali, the Genoa Sharks.
There you go.
In Genoa, but there was a team in Milan. There was a team in Rome. There's a team, in Naples.
Cool.
It was great.
And that league, I'm assuming it's not around still, or is it?
I don't believe so.
Right.
I think it was consolidating over the years, and so I don't believe so. I should reach out to some of the old boys.
Yeah. And what stadiums were you guys playing in at the time?
No, we're playing in fields and in Italy. Yeah. So when you're in a city in Italy, you know what I mean. There's not a lot of grass, right, in the bigger cities,
right.
And so it was like some of the fields were stone seed fields.
Wow.
And like those little pebbles there, and others were grass, and so those pebbles were brutal. I distinctly remember those games. So
that's harsh.
Yeah, but it was still a great experience overall. Learned Italian, learned the culture, and anyway, something that I carry with me to this day. In fact, last year took the family to Italy to see some of the friends,
nice.
And my kids were seeing me conversing in Italian, and they were just losing it, right?
It's beautiful language.
Yeah,
it's very.
absolutely.
I know I'm biased towards it. And did you learn how to cook Italian food?
So on the cooking, I'm a little weaker on the cooking, but I can consume it.
That's what counts.
Yeah. You can teach me.
There we go. Like the pesto genovese or the buffalo cheese, or like there's so many different dishes there that are so unique to the region. Yeah, absolutely.
Dan's taking culinary school, so that's why I asked. But yeah,
yes, sir.
What was the inspiration?
My brain is stimulated in all sorts of ways at work, but the creativity and the ability to shut off while still stimulating the brain is very difficult as a mortgage broker. Right. So I decided to take up different types of hobbies such as piano to help stimulate the brain, do something a little bit more artistic. And recently I started culinary school to help develop that side of the brain, and it's been a huge stress reliever for me. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so George Brown, taking culinary school, just chefing it up for all the lads,
That's what my dad
was. Cool.
George Brown. What have you learned how to make so far?
We've done all different types of broths, all the mother sauces, roast chicken, steak. We did lasagna last week, fresh pasta. Wow. Yeah, pretty good.
So you can make a lasagna now?
I can make a lasagna. And my sister said, in fact, it's pretty good. I'm not a huge bechamel guy, but they make me follow the recipe. They get a little bit annoyed when I start, chef the F in it. Because that's very on brand for me to just chef the F,
Like leave a few things out or add
add a few things or leave a few things out. I don't like creamy sauces, so it's just not my thing. But my sister tried it, and she said it was absolutely incredible. So that's a little bit of a feather in my cap,
So how big was you making a pretty full size one?
We take a lot of food home, and then I give it to my family.
And is your sister enjoys it the most?
They all really, really enjoy it, and I'm already planning to take like a knife skill course. There's a different regions of Italy course. There's a Japanese culinary course.
That's very cool.
It's very stimulating. It's very exciting, and it's something that I'm passionate about. I enjoy it. Like it's a lot of people go to the gym to release stress. I like not to release stress. I get more stressed at the gym, but Got to take care of the body, mind, spirit. So the cooking really helps, you know?
That's really cool. So our office is right next to the George Brown campus, the one that's downtown on King Street East.
So that's my campus. I'm on 300 Adelaide Street East.
So I am incredibly supportive of you. If you want to have your final examination on the top floor of our national headquarters office, which is like 5-minute walk from that location, I'm happy to do it.
I would love to cook for all the EQ people.
Is that how you pass the final course? You got to cook for people?
I don't know.
But he's got to pass it next level, right? That's like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm excited.
Yeah, he's
top of the class.
But I want you guys watching me cooking. I need that pressure.
We can absolutely do that.
Stunning.
That would be really cool.
I'm done, and I need to be timed.
I love this guy. I remember the first time we met, second time, sorry, was when you were actually getting a top performer award at your annual awards ceremony. And it was the first time that in mortgage banking, I'd seen someone walk in red carpet to a 50 Cent song.
Right, that's his song.
I was just like, where am I? But it was
Men.
so awesome. And it's a testament to a lot of what you're collectively trying to build here, which is incredible energy and a really, really cool culture. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I will never forget that intro. That was just
Every
incredible.
time we hear that song, we think of Dan.
Yeah.
And everywhere we go, he will go up to the DJ and request it. So it's his brand, but it's a great memory. So let's talk about you a little bit. Your career started at the Toronto Stock Exchange, so which was really cool. I know it was kind of like I believe it was like a 1 year or shorter period.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
So look, finished my time in Italy, went to business school for a couple of years, met my wife, and got recruited out of business school to the Toronto Stock Exchange. And for me, looking at all my opportunities at that time, it was like, wow, the Toronto Stock Exchange, I get to be in equity, doing stocks, this and that. I mean, to be honest with you, I should have done more homework. I mean, the TSX is a technology company, which facilitates transactions, right, on the execution side.
So you were on the floor with all that, like where you watching the movies and the stocks are coming up and
exactly,
okay.
right.
That's what you were going for.
Yeah. So still a great experience overall. Helped the head of operations at that time with strategy and analytics. Really got to learn the business from that perspective, and it was really, really cool. And this is my transition point. This is why it was so short. My transition point into mortgage was that same head of operations ended up being appointed the CEO of formerly known as Resmore Trust Company.
That's right. That's cool.
And it was interesting because got in there, got to learn the broker business, started on the deposit side, got to know a bit about the mortgage broker business, still supporting on strategy, but really starting to see how this whole thing works, right? And as a young guy at the time, they were headquartered in Calgary.
Right.
It was 2007, 8, 9. So, there was the credit crisis. So at the time, Resmore, I don't know if you remember this, but Resmore got acquired by General Motors Acceptance Corporation. There was some strategy around that from their parent corporation in the U.S. Right. And then subsequently launched an online bank. So was involved as a business lead supporting that launch as well. And then, the business gets acquired by RBC. So it's like an interesting transition, but really like vaulted into, hey, this is how retail banking in Canada works, and met a ton of people and had a really, really great experience overall.
That's awesome. You got to touch
right out of business school,
right?
Yeah.
That was before you did your MBA, because then you do your MBA.
So it was after, right after.
Got it. So you went to, after football, you came back, got your MBA.
That's right.
You already had your undergrad before football.
That's right. Yeah. Just right as I was wrapping up my undergrad, I did that.
Were you working while you got the MBA, or right after you come back, get your MBA, and then jump into
right away? Come back. Absolutely.
That's very, very cool.
You should get your MBA, Paul.
And then the rationale for that, right, for me was like, hey, I grew up in Montreal. So I grew up in Montreal. I do my undergrad it was actually in Ottawa. I go to Europe for a couple of years. My family then in between moves to Toronto. And I'm like, well, I know nobody in Toronto at that stage. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a good time to think about doing my MBA. So I did the MBA, and sort of my network started from there.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
And then you decide to join BMO.
Yes. And so the skills built, like the strategy and analytics piece, and understanding retail banking and online banking really helped me to add value from day one with BMO and their product group. Right. So they have product managers who are essentially brand managers or business managers of their products. Yep. So I came in there, first product was prepaid credit cards, then went into deposit products like GICs and high interest savings accounts, and finished off as the head of mortgage at BMO. Oh, wow. And that was like from 2014 to 2018, and so if you think about that, that's like, when new regulations are coming in, and the banking sector is kind of evolving. And so as a head of product at that time, usually it would be more of a marketing strategy or growth strategy type of role. For me, it was heavily regulatory, right? So still an excellent experience overall. I really learned the fine intricacies of mortgage banking, working with the sales force, working with our operational group, working with Chris, risk, etc. Right. But overall, it was absolutely trial by fire, because it was a tough time.
And that was part of the mortgage sales force. BMO was not part of the broker community at that time as of yet, or were you touching that?
It was their captive, right? It was their captive, right? So by the time I'd gotten there, you're like in the rear view looking at, when we were in the mortgage broker space, right? And at the time, I've seen a ton of strategy docs on this. The mortgage broker channel only represented like 8% of originations. It was tiny, right? And so, you know what I mean? You'd kind of brush, you'd be like, 8%, it'll go away next year, right? And the reality is it just kept growing and growing and growing. And I started to realize there's something here. And it's funny because we're talking about this timeline, but as I'm talking, it infuriates me that I didn't realize sooner, right? I would have loved to have gained like 3, 4, 5 years on this thing and gotten into the mortgage broker business much sooner, because it's so dynamic, such incredible people, and the reality is the value's there. Yeah. And we're collectively in partnership, we're changing the lives of Canadians every single day.
Completely, I agree. Yeah. But I mean, that role at BMO really helped set you up for where you're at EQ, right? So you jump into EQ. You went in. In what role did you jump in at EQ?
Yeah, so I headed up again at the other bank, head up a series of products. So at EQ, they needed help on the deposit side. And so these are deposits originated through financial advisors and investment advisors and regulated dealers. And so I'd had quite a bit of success in that space before. So went to Equitable and helped them with the exact same set of partners. However, we're a different institution, right? So you think of a big bank, I mean, huge balance sheets and large complex sales forces, and you're worried about like, okay, is there going to be channel conflict or pricing issues between channels and these kinds of things. And with Equitable, it was just like, no, we're just got this one business line. And at the time we were launching this online bank, or had just launched. So it wasn't really an issue like in between the channels and that kind of thing. And so was able to get in there and implement a few strategies that were incredibly successful, both from an operational efficiency perspective, so doing more with less and automated, and then launching a series of new products that helped the bank to continue to grow, right? Because if you don't have stable and reliable source of funding as a bank, it's hard to grow. And so was able to help in those years when I was in Treasury running this particular group, which was really exciting. Yeah.
So you were Senior Director of Deposit Services. So your role was to bring in the deposits at that time. And
bring in the deposits, yeah.
And now you jumped up to, so you moved over 2018, I think you said?
Yes.
Yeah. So from 2018, and then you end up taking over your current role. Was there anything in between, or was it?
No. I mean, So the answer is yes. There was. So I'm doing well on deposits. Really, the voice of the wealth advisor to the bank. Right. Then took on an assignment to help our insurance lending business. Again, they're focused on the wealth channel as well. You think of investment advisors, insurance advisors. So took over that piece of the business and had a lot of wins. It is an incredibly valuable and niche market. Yeah. So had some wins there. And to be honest with you, just like the mortgage business overall, we're in a people business, and got the support of our senior management to take the lead of the mortgage sales force in what we call SFR, single family residential. And so it's been just under 4 years on that business, and continuing to grow, continuing to learn. But as a business, we are better in a better position now than we've ever been when it comes to mortgages through brokers, and I'm very proud to be a part of that.
That's fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about Dan. Is there anything you want to jump in on? No, great story though. You were EQ's knight in shining armor. Partnership.
Like that, Paul.
I know it doesn't, but it's too easy not to say.
It is. That's why
it's like Chef DF.
It's Chef DF is incredible.
It's too easy to say.
Yes, Chef.
Not Chef Boyardee.
No. Farm to table, baby.
Farm to table?
Yeah, Chef Boyardee comes from a can.
I know.
Oh yeah. Okay, there you go.
Everything that you're gonna cook is fresh.
Everything I'm gonna cook is going to be from my heart.
I love that. You're
gonna eat a piece of me every time you eat my food.
I don't know how to answer that, but from your heart, I got it. I appreciate that.
I knew that was.
I
put you in
cannot
a little
wait.
bit of a blender.
It was. I had to think about it. I'm excited for you to cook for me. I don't know. I'm a very picky eater, Damon.
Well, check it out. I gotta be honest with you. Like when I think of Clear Trust now, I'm like, okay, these are foodies, right? There's you. There's Vu.
Vu's a big foodie.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure the more conversation that I have, there's going to be more and more foodies. That are gonna pop up.
There's a lot of
It's incredible.
foodies. I am not a foodie.
You know you are. No, you are.
Yeah, I like good food, but I'm not experimental at all with my food.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Like you can take me to Genoa, I'll eat all day, but like I'm very, very selective. I know we talk about that a lot, but yeah. But I guess maybe that's because I grew up in a restaurant.
He's like a kid, like sometimes like you hide the broccoli in like in like a pasta or something. Like if he doesn't know, he'll eat it, and he might actually like it. Like what's the story? He was at Milo's with some friends, and they brought an amuse-bouche to him, and they didn't tell him what it was, and he ate it. And if they told him what it was, he would have never eaten it. And he didn't hate it. He didn't love it, but he didn't hate it.
It was ceviche. I thought it was cucumber, tomato, and feta.
Yeah.
Until I bit it.
He didn't hate it. It's a mental thing.
And then I went to the waiter. I'm like, "Is there fish in this?" And he's like, "Yeah." So everything I ordered, every time he brought it, and there was not a single fish order nothing. I'm like, "Is there fish in this?" And he was like, "No, you're good." But anyways, yeah. So I told Dan that story. I'm like, "Hey, I ate ceviche yesterday." My friends were proud of me.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever
I'm
order
very
again.
experimental. Very.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Like literally, like close your eyes. It doesn't. You close your eyes.
As long as it doesn't break any dietary like kosher laws, I'm good.
Got it. Yeah. For me, like the only food that I'm just worried about, I just pay attention to, is like uncooked raw food.
Yeah.
So for me, the sushi and the sashimi.
That's Paul's favorite.
Oh, is it? Just for me. Just for me.
I think in his household, if like his daughter or wife say they want sushi, he tries to convince them why they shouldn't.
It's like when someone's trying to leave the bank and we taught them not to. That's when it's like,
You sure? Well, maybe this.
Right.
Here's another opportunity.
Here's another option. Yeah. You can dip it in ketchup. Yeah, 100%.
But after this conversation and learning about how important food is, when we have our next broker meets in our office, in our new office space, we're moving in April.
Oh,
very
nice.
exciting.
Right, which is we've got our own building, our own logo.
It was already beautiful, by the way.
No.
So
yeah,
now it's
well,
a step up.
So that building was the old
Globe and Mail.
the Globe and Mail.
Yes.
But in the office space that we've taken up, it was the Air Miles group. Right?
Oh, cool.
Right. And so literally it is like a high-tech, fintechy type of marketing shop.
Yeah.
Like a bank would never be designed the way that they designed it.
It's beautiful though.
Open concept, large screen.
Big, with the seats there, it's beautiful. It looks like Google.
Every room is, you can entertain in every major meeting room on the first and second floors. It's just incredible, right? So when our CEO Andrew was like, "Hey, we're moving," I said, "Andrew, can we hold on to these 2 floors just for sale?" So he's like, "No." But right. No, but when the next time we have you, which will be hopefully very soon.
We'd like to be the first. We were the first ever broker meetup.
Yes, you were.
So we'd like to be the first in the new office if we're still Serie A to you.
No, absolutely. Let us. We gotta move in first. But
of course.
My one definite promise is the food is going to be next level, and I guess potentially it might be made by someone we know.
That would be really cool.
That would be like the truth is, my personality is very much about taking care of people. I've realized that through cooking. Like I take more pleasure in having somebody enjoy something that I cook for them than myself try something. Yeah. And it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me, specifically in business development. Like I now will cook for folks as like a thank you gesture, as opposed to just take them out for a meal that's cooked for us. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's so from from the soul.
And it's at your place?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Love it.
But yes, mostly at my place. Yeah.
The food was good when we went. We had Greek. We ordered Greek. It was good.
The company was better.
That was. Let's dive into that a little bit. Let's tell the viewers about what the broker meetups are, because it was something that we've never experienced before, right? A lender to invite us, bring in the entire, like we've gone and visited and sat with, the underwriting team and the managers, but to that extent, it was very red carpet. Remember, they had the camera crew.
It was class.
You guys had lunch.
First
you
class.
put, it was about feedback. You got us to sign the guest book. So like those are the things that really stood out to us. It was first class. But maybe let's talk about the concept, how it originated, and then what you guys have gone through, and maybe how it's gotten better.
Yeah, no, we for a lot of years we followed the traditional engagement model with mortgage brokers, and that was to whether it be engage in your office or over the phone, and try to connect, maybe in restaurants, to get to know each other better, and then sort of start the deal flow and work on a business relationship and that kind of thing.
Right.
And that's totally fine. It worked, and we've been incredibly successful doing that. The reality is that especially since COVID, there's a large number of brokers who, broker owners who have either disbanded their headquarter offices and are working fully remote, right. Or there's a generation of people, who are very, very comfortable online, right? So I was saying, all right, I can absolutely pull together groups of people and we can connect, but how do I make sure that we do two things? One, we make sure that the relationship is important to us, and that we're able to talk through issues and opportunities on the spot, not only with the BDM, but also with the executives. And you've seen, I think it was either Andrew or Mahima would have popped in to the meeting as well, right? So that's incredibly important, right? The second thing is, how do we help you communicate the value that you bring more broadly in the market, right? And so we have a platform. On LinkedIn alone, we've got 130,000 followers. That's the Equitable Bank brand. And then, if you go across all the other social platforms, there's more. And so how do we tell the story on behalf of not only our mortgage broker partners, but mortgage brokers more broadly, about the great work that you're doing, and how we're proud to partner with you as our primary distribution channel for mortgages. So basically woke up one morning, usually these things hit me in the shower, right? Woke up one morning, and I told you we're in a people business, and so we try to hire the best people. And so Adam Ross had just joined the company, and I was like, Adam, all right, I want to bring him in, but I want it to be different, and I want social media to be the primary, right? Like if you center the event around, okay, we're going to promote this thing via social media, what does it look like? Right. And was like, I got this, I'll get back to you, right? And then within a week, he'd come up with an amazing plan, and we tested it a few times. You were part of the test group.
Yeah. That was
and
great,
made it, but it significantly elevated.
Of course, there's always learnings.
Yeah, absolutely. To the point now where we've opened new offices across the country, and so we're going to be doing the same thing across the country in 2025. Wow. But then when our new headquarters in Ontario opens, because we had this success, one of the floors was designed with broker meetups in mind. So it's going to be really exciting for you to see and for us to host as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So you were part of helping us to shape and form that thing. So thank you, Ken. Thank you enough.
Cool. I thought it was a great event.
Yeah.
Your golf tournament, I know that was not on the list of questions, but we had a great time at that. I know, obviously, was that the first annual, or maybe that was the first one we came to? But that was EQ by invite only. That was really, really cool. Is that something that's going to keep happening, or?
Yeah, we're gonna do it this year. When it comes to, like, again, traditional activities, again, we try to be the challenger bank. So we're constantly looking at what we're doing and assessing if it's valuable or not, or
right.
If it's helping to differentiate us or not. So we love the golf tournament, and our clients, our brokers, love the golf tournament as well. Yeah. We have other partners from reverse mortgage, commercial as well, and on the deposit side who come to that tournament.
Yeah.
So it's great. However, I am pushing a team to think about other things that we can be doing that can help to differentiate ourselves.
For those that don't play golf, maybe.
For those that, that's a big one, right? And I've heard it a number of times that some of our female brokers would prefer other options to engage with us in that way, and so we're really taking that serious and hoping to roll a few things out this year on that.
That's
topic.
amazing.
Yep.
We faced that too, right? With our golf tournament, that's why we started doing some different things: the summer social, the Thanksgiving, different type of stuff where everyone can join. Because golf, it's not for everyone, but it's still a fun event. But yeah, so that's incredible. Yeah. And you guys have done a series of different kind of celebratory for different cultures, right? Yesterday you had one. How was that?
Yeah, and I think someone was invited who didn't make it. Was it you? Was it no? You wait.
The Nowruz event? Yeah, you sat that one out. Me and Dan both sat that one. We were both.
What do you mean? I wasn't invited. Was I invited?
Yes, you were.
Thank you so much for the invite.
He's not bringing it up if you weren't. You sat that one out. You were invited. We both. No,
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
No. It was incredible. Yeah, it was.
He apologizes again.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy.
I'm not a huge industry event guy, to be totally transparent.
No problem.
With you.
No problem. So we've done a number of cultural events. So Nowruz, the Persian New Year. We've done Lunar New Year as well, which has been really, really well received, and we also did the Diwali in the fall. And again, a lot of success in engaging with brokers in meaningful ways that matters to them. And it's funny because a lot of successful brokerages are built on community support, and so to be able to recognize those communities was really important to us. So
you guys have done so many great things. Like, we just jumped through, broker meetups, the golf, these different cultural events. What you guys are doing is incredible, and that kind of ties into the next question: partnership between EQ and Clear Trust, and it's on a national level. Like, you were in Montreal with us, you're hanging out with when we went there for CMP, and there's Vu and a few other folks. What does the part, like, we've grown and we continue to grow, and it's at such a great level on both, I think on all three: residential, commercial, and reverse. We've really had some great momentum there. So let's speak a little bit to the partnership, because I think it's really important. There's a reason why you would say yes to even coming on to this podcast, but I want to dive into a little bit about the partnership and what you see, where we're at and where we're going.
When I first met Robert out in Vancouver, it is a humble office space in the suburbs of Vancouver, and Robert is an incredibly humble person, and you meet with them, etc. And you take a step back and you come to one of your events and you realize, wow, this is a large number of people who are supporting this. And then you also look at the growth that the organization has had over the years. It is incredible. So this is a long-standing relationship that we're very proud to be a part of and to enhance. From the alternative mortgage partnership and the reverse mortgage partnership, as well as the commercial piece, which is what you talked about, we feel that our offering is the most complete in the market, and our performance with you reflects that.
Absolutely.
The quality of the clientele that comes through to Equitable Bank is second to none. And the service that we aim to provide, it's interesting when we think about how we can improve our service. One of the questions is usually, is this something that the Clear Trust team like, right? Right? Would this work with that? Because with that shop, right? Because you've got your own unique needs, your own unique demands, and there are a number of others across the country, but like, you're in the mix on this, and it's because of the influence that you've grown to have over the Canadian mortgage broker space, and again, the success you've had with Canadians coast to coast at this stage, which is incredibly successful to see as a business partner. And so we are continuing to look for opportunities to partner with you and to ensure that your success just continues to grow. And really, really happy to be able to honestly sit back together and look back and reflect, because 15 years ago didn't quite look like this.
No.
Right, exactly. And so this is a great spot that you're at, and I hope that you recognize I see it. I hope that you see it as well.
Yeah, no, you guys are first class. We truly value everything on all levels. The level of support, picking up the phone when we need you has been incredible. The whole team has been amazing, from you all the way down. Dina, Kareem, Prak, Sean, whoever we go to, Adam, everyone. Underwriting team has been superb, and we're very fortunate to have EQ. And it goes both ways. So that's. I mean, hearing those words, it means a lot. But yeah. So I mean, future is bright for us. And Danny,
Hi, Paul.
what do you think?
As I'm listening to everything, I'm thinking about why is EQ different? I'm really trying to understand relative to the space, the market, the way you guys have built relationships and things of that nature. And I think that, I've had the pleasure of seeing, other mortgage brokerages create relationships with banks. And I think that, that's one of our strong suits here at Clear Trust. And as I'm thinking through it, two things come to mind. Number one is you guys hire the best people. Like, it's second to none. Like, your people are incredible. Paul just touched on it. I think that should be highlighted. I think that you guys invest a lot in that. I think that you take a lot of pride in your people. And I think they give it back to the company, which is incredible, right? Because the people make the company. Okay? So that's number one. And number two for me is nobody at EQ is working in the business. Everyone is working on the business. And your language about how you are developing these nuanced approaches to connect with folks in the mortgage broker community speaks to you working only on the business and not in the business. And I think that going against the grain is the way to go. And I think you guys have done an incredible job. And you are right. You do have an incredible product offering. You have amazing people, and you're always trying to be better. You're not complacent. So what you just said to us, I think really warms my heart. I can't thank you enough for those kind words, especially live on the air. So that's beautiful, and I hope you guys see that we appreciate you guys very, very, very much. And again, you took the time to come meet with us. I think a lot of people will get a lot out of this episode in particular, and we're looking forward to just continuing to break every milestone that has ever been hit and potentially create new milestones for other people to aspire to achieve.
Well, I love it. And thanks for inviting me. And on the topic of hiring the best people, obviously I'm representing sales, but the reality is we've got some of the best underwriters and leadership teams in banking. And they are so I'll talk about our underwriting and credit group for a second. They are under incredible pressure to deliver for mortgage brokers across the country who do business differently, who have different customer bases and different expectations in terms of quality service, turnaround. Our risk appetite as an institution is constantly being tested, not only against the needs of Canadians across the country, but against expectations of the regulators, et cetera. And so our credit teams are under incredible pressure, but they give their best to brokers every single day, and they give their best to Clear Trust every single day. And so for me, that's another point of pride, because we're kind of at the front lines. And we are supported by, again, some of the strongest people in the industry. So it's it's an incredible time for us to be partnered together at your stage of growth and of ours. And I'm just really, really happy to be here. So thank you.
No, our pleasure. So before I go, any questions for us? I heard there might be you came with some gifts. Anything last before we go?
So I know that, and I'm looking at you, and you're incredibly good-looking gentleman, and right, and so so you got to hit me up with the name of your tailors. However, I do think you could be a little better looking if I hit you up with our Make Bank shirts.
Oh man, that's
for
lovely.
You to wear. So
Thank you.
We love when guests bring us gifts. It doesn't happen much.
I thought I saw a Rolex back somewhere. No, that wasn't for me then.
It wasn't for me. I didn't get it yet. Not yet. Next time.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you doesn't offer us.
My apologies. This is great.
Thank you. At the gym.
Right. And we have an incredible marketing shop, so these are really great quality shirts, and the design's real cool. So
you told me they don't shrink. Make Bank. Where's the camera? We're gonna put it on.
Yeah, I think that, like, you know, as a culture, you guys are so focused on that, and it bleeds through everything that you guys do, and you're a yes first attitude shop, and that's all you need in this world is just a positive attitude, right, Paul? It's all about attitude.
I agree,
Yeah.
and I think that they're not to put others down. There's still, when working with EQ, it still reminds me of there's that sense of urgency and understanding of the customer on the other end, where I find that more and more when there's challenging deals, and there's always gonna be challenging deals, the others are more willing to walk away or not find a solution. And I don't find that with EQ. Honestly, I think it's always customer first, let alone the relationship we have, because that does matter. That, you know, we'll always go to bat for those that support, and vice versa, right? Because you guys will say, listen, based on the body of work, yeah, we'll do this for you. And that's not about a deal. I'm talking about if we come on a certain escalation or something that's kind of happened. But wherever we go to, it's always about finding a way to get it done.
And for us, what innovation in that kind of work looks like is getting to a decision on an escalation quicker.
Yeah.
Quicker and more consistently. And so that's the work that we toil on. And it's not easy because it is a bit more of an art, right? But that is what keeps us up at night, and we continue to fight on that front.
This has been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad we had to get through about like 70 episodes to be ready for Damon, but we're here. I think we did a good job. We held our own, no?
I think so.
And we got called handsome, so that always counts. Thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you in the office.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.